welcome back. Now for our next dish, Lisa's going to be preparing a beautiful and I think fairly typically southern dish of ceci with pasta, but it's been flavoured with some fantastic pig's trotters. Now pig's trotters, of course, add a very smoky flavour, nearly gelatinous flavour to a soup or to a pasta sauce. In this case, it's infused and then it will be removed, so it's typically there for flavour. Now chickpeas, once again, these are a real southern pulse, which once again is prolific in southern Italy, and this is one of those beans that basically can be had dried, fresh, or tinned. And of course Stefania is going to be joining us from Bomb Food and telling us a little bit about the canned variety. But just remember one thing, that dried, when you have a dried product and you're soaking it in water, it's basically about revival. And with the tin product, it's already got usually some salt or sugar added to the product, so just bear that in mind because you may want to omit some of the salt during the cooking process. So let's cross over to Lisa and Stefania, and we'll go through this wonderful dish. Allora Lisa, now within this next recipe, we're going to be using one of my favourite pulses, which is chickpeas. Can you say that for me in Italian?
In my dialect, it's called ceci, so which I know.
Okay, well, let me just give you a translation of that. Ceci e tagliatelle, yes. But in Lisa's dialetto, very ristretto, yes, as they would say.
Yes.
Okay, so give us the process of this.
Okay, well, we have some dried chickpeas here. Now, these are the good chickpeas here that are all the same colour, that nice golden colour. If you see any that are this dark browny colour, just discard them because they're no good. So we'll just put that one over there. Oh. Now, you need to make sure that you soak the chickpeas overnight in cold water.
Now Lisa, if they rise to the top, is that a problem?
I don't think it is.
No, okay.
I've never found it. Well, I hope not. So.
Okay. All right, no worries.
Now, all we do is you boil the chickpeas up, but make sure you keep the water, because that adds to like the texture of the soup, so it comes out very thick, very nice.
Right.
So now these are boiling and they're nearly cooked.
So all the starchy parts of the ceci come out into the water. So this is just salted water?
Just salted water.
All right.
And you boil them up until they're just...
What sort of time frame are we looking at here, Lisa?
I'd say about half an hour, you'd probably say.
Half an hour, okay.
But just check, just make sure they're not too crunchy, because you want that nice soft...
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Okay, now, what we add to this dish is a bit of Napoli sauce. Usually, if you have time, you cook this off with the actual pork hot inside. But today, if you don't have time, or if you're a vegetarian, we're just going to add this in. And while this is still boiling, we're going to add pork hock just in there.
Right. So traditionally you always have the pork hock, don't you?
Traditionally you'd actually cook the Napoli off with the pork hock.
It's got sort of a smoky flavour, hasn't it? It does
have a little bit.
Look at that.
So you cook that off.
And all the lovely gelatinous qualities of this pork hock come out into the soup, huh?
Beautiful. Now...
This is like a meal in two, really, isn't it?
It is. Okay, so once that comes to the boil, we're just going to add some homemade pasta that we've made here. Now this pasta here is just flour, water and salt. That's traditionally how my mum always makes it.
Right.
As you've said, it's a southern thing.
It is, because in the north we tend to have egg-based pastas. Now you might shed some light on this discussion.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that fresh produce like eggs in the north were a lot easier to come by. When you are cooking with egg pasta, what you need to understand is that it does expand a lot, especially if it's made with whole egg.
Yes.
A lot of sort of commercially produced pastas that are egg pasta are actually made just with the egg white, because that's generally just enough to coagulate it and to give it that elasticity.
Right.
But the better ones are made with whole egg, and you'll be able to tell because you'll get a really rich golden colour through the pasta.
Ah, so the ones made with egg whites, they're not so yellow. It's because there's no yolks.
So now this has come to the boil. All we do is add the freshly made pasta. Doesn't matter if there's extra flour in there, that just thickens it up as well, it's fine.
So Lisa, if we've been cooking our chickpeas for half an hour, we then add in the pork hock, so we need to cook that for how much longer?
Generally we add the pork hock into the Napoli when we cook it, so it's already, the Napoli has the flavour of it.
Alright, so this has already been cooked off?
Cooked off.
And then once you add the pasta, once again, you're going to get a very overcooked pasta. Is that what we're looking for?
A very thick, beautiful pasta. It's not meant to be al dente at all.
No,
just cooked right through.
For our viewers at home, al dente meaning firm to the bite.
Yep. So you just let that cook through.
Okay, Lisa, let's scoop out this soup.
See, there we go. Now, just at the end, traditionally, you just add a good spoon of parmesan, or a little bit more, depends how much you like. Give it a mix, and then straight onto the plate.
That is like a meal in itself. I wouldn't call it a soup.
No, it's not so thick.
Usually we do have it as a meal, but if you like, you know, there we go.
And traditionally we'll be garnished with a little goccia di olio di oliva.
Oh, hello, there we go.
There you go.
Comes out really fast.
Look at
There
that.
we go.
Gorgeous, and you can smell it. Yeah.
Just
Food
like that.
fit for the King of Naples.
Okay.
Absolutely. Now we'll go to a quick break, and when we come back, we have a final bit to our meal tonight, which is going to be beautiful organic apples with a very light ricotta stuffing, easy and simple, so simple to do that even children can do it.